Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Happy Friday. I'm going to be running you through 12 sharp player props that I'm on for today. We're going to be looking at prize picks, parlay play, underdog fantasy, kind of discussing the similarities between these platforms. One thing, though, I want to point out is I got so much crap. You guys gave me so much crap for Looney under 14.5 rebounds. Right? Oh, he had 20 rebounds in a couple games. Follow the data, seriously. Every book had his line at 13.5. On No House Advantage, it was 14.5. You may think you're smarter than the sports books, you're smarter than the market. The truth is, just following the trends, looking at a player's last 5 games, it's a surefire way to go broke sports betting. If you're not following the data, just stop betting on sports, right? The point of this video is to educate sports bettors on how they can make money sports betting. When we go through No House Advantage, this is a platform I've made over $80,000 on, literally just following the data. So I do these videos to be educational as well as to give everyone, sharp and profitable picks. And that's what I hope to do in this video with a platform called Parlay Play. So anyways, let's just go ahead. Let's get into my first pick, which is going to be right here from the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. So this tool is pretty simple, right? All this tool does is it pulls in data from across the market, right? And kind of allows you to find value. So you can see the lines from Parlay Play, Underdog, Prize Picks, No House Advantage for MLB player strikeouts. So I've explained this before, but all of these platforms are kind of similar, right? Prize Picks was very successful. Prize Picks is a platform where they're not varying your payouts based on the picks you select. So you can see for any 6-pick flex play, this is the payout you're getting. Parlay Play works in the same way, right? If I change this to an under, I'm still getting this same payout. If I switch it back to an over, it doesn't matter what 6 picks you select, you're always getting the same payout. So essentially, when I'm using this screen, what I do is I look for discrepancies between these fantasy sites, right? Or you can look for discrepancies between sports books. It doesn't really matter. But what you're going to notice is my first play is right here. I'll just go ahead. I'll zoom in a bit. Is I'm on Lance Lynn over 6 strikeouts, right? So what jumps out, or what should jump out at you, is if you look at Prize Picks, which again is a fantasy site that works very similar to No House Advantage, is you're going to see they have Lynn's line at 6.5 strikeouts. All the sports books also have Lynn's line at 6.5 strikeouts. Parlay Plays at 6. Every other data point in the market is at 6.5. Right? So Parlay Play, because all these books want to set lines independently, Parlay Play is too low relative to every other data point in the market. So we want to take the over on Parlay Play. Right? So if you're looking for plays on Parlay Play, this is a good strategy. Underdog, Prize Picks, No House Advantage, whatever. You're looking for value in the market, right? As a data-driven, as a sharp sports bettor, you're always looking for value in the market. So you're looking for discrepancies between these fantasy sites. And here it's pretty clear. Lance Lynn's line is 6 on Parlay Play. It's 6.5 on Prize Picks, as well as all the sports books. So we want to take the over. We found value. So I've explained this before, but there's a benefit, right, to having as many of these sportsbook accounts as you can have. Like, I recommend signing up for Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay Play. Get as many of these platforms as you can. And the first main reason, or one main reason, is sometimes sportsbooks run promos. So you're going to see Underdog Fantasy today. They're running a promo where you can bet on Jaylen Brown over under half of a point. Right? So if Jaylen Brown scores even 1 point, you can see his regular points line is at 25.5. But for this promo, they're bringing it down to 0.5. So this is basically a free win on Underdog Fantasy, a super profitable promo. And I've explained this before too, but sometimes there's profitable plays on Underdog, right? Sometimes there's profitable plays. So we went on a pretty good winning streak on Underdog Fantasy earlier this week. But long story short, sometimes there's a bunch of value on Prize Picks. Sometimes there's more value on Underdog Fantasy. You never know which platform is going to have profitable bets on a given day. So get as many accounts as you can have, right? But long story short, Parlay Play is a platform very similar to Prize Picks, but what you're going to notice is for these 6-pick entries, so if you look at Parlay Play, for a 6-pick entry, they actually have slightly higher payouts than Prize Picks, right? So in a Parlay Play entry, if you go 5 for 6, you get a 2.5x payout. On Prize Picks, it's a 2x payout. On Parlay Play, if you go 4 for 6, you get a 0.5x payout. On Prize Picks, it's lower. It's a 0.4x payout. So what you can do is you can essentially reverse engineer. You can take these Parlay Play payouts, and I'll include this spreadsheet in the description, and you can back out what percentage of my picks do I need to win to be profitable, right? What percentage of my over-unders, such as Connor Wong, over-under half of a base, what percentage of these picks do you have to win to be profitable on parlay play long term? And the answer is 53.22%, right? So if you can win 55% of your player props on parlay play, this platform right here, you're going to be super profitable. Your ROI is going to be 17.1%. So all you're trying to find on parlay play, literally all you have to do to beat this platform, because they don't change your payouts, any 6-pick entry has this exact same payout, is all you got to do is win 53.22% of your picks. So the tool that I typically, start out using to find player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time is the OddsJam positive expected value tool. Right? So this tool is pretty simple. All it does is it reads in lines from Prize Picks, all these different sports books, and all of the profitable bets are just highlighted in green and also in bold. So you're going to see the first play available is Tatum under 9.5 rebounds. So why do we like it? Well, look at the sports books. Every sports book has Tatum's under heavily favored. Right? I don't care what you think you know about basketball. If you've watched every Celtics game this, season, it doesn't matter. You're not smarter than the data. You're not smarter than the sports books. You don't have better models. You don't have better intuition. 99% of sports bettors, they try to make money sports betting following their gut, their emotions. The truth is it doesn't work. What makes money in sports betting is following the data and finding edges in the market, right? So what you're going to see is Tatum's under. You don't just have one data point telling you Tatum's under should be heavily favored. You have literally dozens of data points. All these sportsbooks posting odds are data points, and they all have Tatum's under heavily favored, right? So Tatum's a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. So long story short, Tatum under 9.5 rebounds is a player prop that's winning over 53.22% of the time. So this is a great player prop to go with on parlay play. And you're going to notice, right, this play isn't on Prize Picks. A lot of people will be like, oh, why don't I just bet this on Prize Picks? This play isn't available on Prize Picks. If you go to Prize Picks, if we go to player rebounds, so we can actually just take a look, where do they have Tatum? You're going to see they have Tatum at 9.0 rebounds. On parlay play, we're getting that extra half rebound of value. We're getting under 9.5. And that's how you get an advantage over the sports books and win long term. You find discrepancies. You find edges in the market. And because parlay play is a fixed payout platform, they're not varying your payouts based on you selecting over or under. Your payout will never change. The easiest strategy for beating them, for making money off parlay play, is you just want to find spots where sports books have an under. In this case, it's an under, but it could be an over, heavily favored, right? So Tatum under 9.5 rebounds. So this is a play we want to go with on parlay play. So then you just kind of keep going through, right? I don't really care if there's more value in the NHL, NBA, MLB, who cares? I'm placing bets to try to make money. So if there's 6 profitable NHL bets, I'll have a 6-pick NHL entry. But you're going to see the next player prop is right here, Martin Necas over 2.5 shots on goal. All the sports books have his over heavily favored, right? We're following the data points. Pinnacle, sharpest sports book in the world, they have Necas' over all the way up at minus 138. So all the sports books have this line for Necas. They have his over heavily favored. And you may be like, well, this is also on Prize Picks. Why don't I just bet this on Prize Picks? But again, parlay play, they have better payouts than Prize Picks. So if you could pick, to either place your bet on parlay play or Prize Picks, you'd rather have your bet on parlay play because they're giving you higher payouts if you go 5 for 6 or 4 for 6, right? 2x payout versus 2.5x payout, 0.5x versus 0.4x. These differences really matter long-term as a sharp sports bettor. So the second player prop I went with is Necas over 2.5 shots on goal on parlay play, right? Just trying to find 6 of these picks that are in bold and in green, as you can see right here. Then we can switch over to the MLB, slightly lower profit margin. So this play on Tatum had the highest profit margin, but still we want 6 picks in our entry. 6-pick entries are optimal. So then we go to Max Muncy. All the sports books, right? Pinnacle, sharpest sports book in the world, they have Maxey's over half of a base. So to have 1+ base, they have his over heavily favored. So Pinnacle, the sharpest sports book in the world, they've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. They have better models than you and I have, right? And also, they're taking bets from all around the market and moving around odds due to supply and demand, right? If you think you're smarter than the sports books, that also means you think you're smarter than every other sports bettor, because sportsbook odds reflect the belief of the market, right? The goal of a sports book is to, essentially have balanced amounts of wagers on both sides, on the over and the under, so they just make their spread, right? You can see Pinnacle, they have a 42-cent spread baked into their market, minus 164 plus 122. Right? Sportsbooks make money by charging a spread, by charging the VIG. So if all the action comes in on Muncie's over, you're going to see sportsbooks. This is called line movement in sports betting. If all the action's coming in on the over, sportsbooks want to balance the amount of bets on both sides. So if all the action's coming in on the over, what sportsbooks are going to do is they'll move Muncie's line, like DraftKings will move it from minus 125, where it's already a favorite, but only a slight favorite. They'll move this to minus 135, then minus 145. Right? Sportsbooks move around odds due to supply and demand. So long story short, Muncie's over is heavily favored. This is a great player prop to go with on parlay play. It's a player prop that's winning over 53.22% of the time. So another tool you can use to find value on parlay play is this fantasy optimizer. So what's cool about this tool is we know on parlay play, we just got to win 53.22% of our picks and we'll be profitable. Right? 53.22% will basically, mean that you break even. But if you can hit your player props 55% of the time, your ROI is going to be higher, right? So this is the only number you care about on parlay play, is how high can I get my win rate for all of my player prop picks. So if you go to the fantasy optimizer, you're going to see, okay, Jason Tatum, his under is 55.34% to hit. So this is all just based on sportsbook odds. Embiid, over 25.5 points. All the sportsbooks have his over, heavily favored, right? As you can see right here. For D'Angelo Russell, all the sportsbooks have his over 5.5 assists, heavily favored. So you can see all of these player props based on the sportsbook odds, everything's just based in data. All of these player props are winning over 53.22% of the time. So they're all profitable player props to include in a parlay play entry. So let's just go ahead. Let's get to my picks, which I can do right here. Nope, that's not correct. So if I go back and then I just go to entries, what you can see is my two different entries, and you can take a screenshot if you want to see all my plays. They're all just from this fantasy optimizer or the positive EV tool or the screen. Is we have Lance Lynn over 6 strikeouts, quickly under 12.5 PRAs, Russell over 5.5 assists. So you can see most of these plays are right here. Draymond Green over 8.5 points, Booker under 8 assists, and Embiid over 25.5 points. Right? We're just following the data. All the sports books have Embiid's over, heavily favored, right? So Embiid's more likely to go over as opposed to under. He's over 53.22% to go over. Is this play a lock? No, it's not a lock. It's just a bet with an edge. So that's the first slip I went with. So those are my first 6 picks. And then we go to Hunter Green over 6 strikeouts, Fried under 1.5 walks, Muncy over half of a base, Nikas over 2.5 shots on goal, Green under 7.5 assists, and Tatum under 9.5 rebounds. Again, just following the data in the market. So today, a lot of value on parlay play. Hopefully, I'm able to find some value on Prize Picks, get out a Prize Picks video, but I say this all the time. In these videos, I'm just trying to show you guys, what I'm putting my own money on. So hopefully this video was helpful, educational. Any questions you have, feel free to reach out. I'll include this spreadsheet kind of breaking down the math behind parlay play in the description. And let's make some money tonight, guys. NBA playoffs, what's better than that?